Okay, so the Nigerian Stock Exchange this morning placed a full trading technical suspension on the shares of Diamond Bank because of the approval of the planned merger with Access Bank. The shareholders' approval, and of course the approval by the SEC at the central bank. We'll get a bit more of that, but that's just coming through now. The stock exchange informing all market operators that the shares of Diamond Bank has been placed on full suspension. Okay, let's get into what the fundamentals actually are around the fixed income and FX markets. Let's cross over to the FMDQ exchange place where Nnamdi Olisaeloka of Zcrest Capital is joining us. Nnamdi, good morning. It's good to have you on the program. Thanks for coming.
Good morning, Boston.
Yeah,
morning,
so
boss.
I look at the market, this market every day, the fixed income, and I'm trying to understand what are the fundamentals that play here when we see the various actions of the central bank, the DMO, and again, sentiments by investors in our debt market.
All right, so for the CBN, in the Treasury bills market, they're largely the dominant players. Their intervention tends to dictate the tune of activities in the market. So yesterday we saw the CBN conduct an OMO auction to mop up some of the liquidity in the system. They offered about 100 billion, which was oversubscribed by about 105%. So we saw a total sales of about 15.9 billion on the short tenor bill offered and about 100.41 billion on the medium tenor bill offered. So due to the oversubscription, like in the previous auction last week, we saw it cut further by about 4 basis points on the short tenor bill to 11.8%. and about 6 basis points on the medium tenor bill, now down to 13.14%. Yesterday, the DMO came out and issued the bond offer circular for the auction that is to hold on March 27th. That's next week, Wednesday, where they indicated they will be offering about 100 billion. So that has slightly dampened interest in the market at the moment. Yields are slightly higher opening the session. So we think that demand interest will remain relatively muted in the near term, while yields should just tick slightly higher, with market players taking a slightly bearish position ahead of the auction.
So what was the basic sentiment on which investors are taking positions? More of fundamentals or the technical side?
All right, so fundamentally, the market will be largely driven by what investor expectations are. If you look at what the budget that was recently, the budget discussions and narrative around it, like I said the last time I was here, there are factors that tend to tell us that debt levels will be slightly higher this year. So government might need to borrow more to finance some of the deficit that will come from implementation of minimum wage and some other issues in the budget. So we think that market players will take a slightly cautious approach to investing in bonds. But for Treasury bills, because the inflation is slightly lower now and rates are still trending downwards, so we think that there will still be some buying interest down to a particular level where we think investors will now begin to look for alternative assets like corporate bonds and other higher yielding fixed income securities.
Okay. Nnamdi Olisaeloka from Zcrest Capital. Thank you very much. Do have a great day from FMDQ Exchange Place Studios. Also, this news is out that Diamond Bank has now been placed on full trading suspension by the Nigerian Stock Exchange because of those approvals. And, of course, the court-ordered approval was gotten yesterday, 19th of March. So yesterday might be the final day that Diamond Bank shares will be traded on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, because the Nigerian Stock Exchange says that the shares of Diamond Bank will be delisted from the Nigerian Stock Exchange. This is the beginning of the end for one of Nigeria's oldest new generation bank on Broad Street. Temple Ashaju, business correspondent, live to us from the Stock Exchange trading floor. Temple, it looks like this is the beginning of the end for Diamond Bank, with the Stock Exchange placing the shares on full trading suspension. If the major plans goes well, most likely Diamond Bank shares will no longer be traded until it's formally delisted from the Stock Exchange, and then the wedlock with Access Bank would have been completed.
So it means you don't have to look at the ticker tape of Diamond Bank anymore, which has closed yesterday at 2 naira 42 kobo after some 15 million plus units of its shares were traded. But it was down some 1.63%, which tells you that some investors had actually expected this coming since the extraordinary general meeting had actually held on the 6th of March. That's about last week or thereabouts. So and then following the release of the sanction, announcement about the sanction, that the court sanction that the Access Bank actually received yesterday, I mean, some investors really thought about the fact that any moment from now, this particular company may go down the drain, and that's exactly what is seemingly happening at this point in time. However, a lot of investors don't need to worry too much, because of course what it means is that this full suspension will only help the two companies to look at the list of shareholders or register of shareholders that will be qualified for the scheme of consideration for those that will benefit from it. So this will help them to work that out, and at the end of the day, since you no longer have to look at the symbol here on the trading floor, that's of Diamond Bank, what you have to start looking at will be that of Access Bank.
Yes,
so in terms of deposits, you have nothing to lose. In terms of shares, you need to continue to look at Access Bank.
Yes, Tempo, this is the way merger goes, and sometimes, well, perhaps a bit of a teary eye for Diamond Bank. This is one Diamond that is, well, technically going into Access Bank. But again, we say goodbye to Diamond Bank. As we speak right now, Tempo, Access Bank is leading in terms of volume, almost 5 million shares traded. The shares of Access Bank is also up nearly 6% this morning. So it looks like the folks are moving strongly now into, well, the groom in this particular corporate wedlock, now that the bride may soon leave the father's house and have what you call a change of name certificate.
Correct. That's why Access Bank is currently rising some 5.04%, and of course it's the toast of the market, given the whole news around the particular company. So many things are currently around the company, so much factors around it. Right now it's paying out some 25 kobo dividend, it's carrying out this mergers and acquisition, it has just floated some 15 billion naira worth of green bonds, and that's the very first of its kind in the whole of Africa, certified as a climate bond actually. Now, a whole lot of things are coming from them. They're also going to be commencing this whole business combination any moment from now. That's from the 1st of April. That's what the timeline is. That's the expected timeline, actually. So Access Bank remains a major company to watch going forward, Bosun.
Yes. Okay, let's start saying goodbye to Diamond Bank. Well, that as a quoted company, that is it. And again, of course, say that. Okay, thank you, Tempo. Have a great day. And not over yet, but it's just a going, not yet gone. But the show is over for today, isn't it? Let's come back tomorrow and continue from here at 10 o'clock in the morning, bright and early. Don't miss it. Thank you, everyone.